Hi, I'm Ron Achenbach, and I'm here with rule number 7 for parenting. And with this rule, what I want you to think about is a little bit about perspective, primarily yours, and how it relates to your child, and why we want to make sure that we have that mindset going into correcting our child and working with our child. So rule number 7 is, if you're arguing with your child, you're losing. What we have to understand is a lot of times we get in an argument, we tell our kids what to do, and then they kind of combat us about it a little bit. And the reason why is they have a very limited understanding of the world. There's perspective. They think anything is possible, and that even though they're 5 years old, they should be able to drive a car wherever they want. So again, we got to keep that in mind. They have no idea of what their limitations are. And so one of the things is saying the word yet. Say, having this conversation. I know you don't understand why I would want you to do this yet, or why you're not allowed to do this yet. Because yet tells them subconsciously that there's a time that's going to come that they can do it. It's just not right now. All right. The other part of that is if they are continually wanting to, yeah, but I want this, and why can't I do this? Why can't? Stop talking to them. Stop the conversation. Then give them that, what we talked about before, illusion of choice. Now, you can do this or you can do this. But if you keep arguing with me, you're not going to have any choices. And then leave it at that. Right? And if they do continue to argue with them, they cross the line in the sand. We've talked about this before. Hold them accountable. Take that action. Take whatever away from them, but make sure you do it. Otherwise, they know that they're going to continually get to argue with you whenever they feel like it. Right? The other thing, though, that will help change the tide of things before it becomes an issue is constantly having the what-if conversation. I know you don't like you're doing your homework, but, what if I didn't go to work every day? What would happen? And you go, oh, you'd lose your job. All right, well, what if you don't do your homework that you're supposed to do? You're going to lose out. Or something similar to that. We got to keep in mind that, along with seeing the world through their eyes, it's also that kids understand stories and metaphors best. We talked about this before. This is like the best way to get kids to learn. So you just come up with these stories, come up with these metaphors of, if you don't do one thing, here's the outcome. Or here's this person I know that didn't do this, or this child that was about your child's age that didn't do this thing, and they lost out. And your child's going to go, ooh, I don't want to lose out. In karate, we do things that kind of help kids to bypass that. Why can't I do this? Why can't I test for my black belt today? We get the kids as white belts. All right, if you are a white belt, you know about 3 or 4 kicks. Now, as your black belt, you have to know about those 3 or 4 kicks turns into about 25 different kicks, or combinations thereof. You ready to test for your black belt? No. So we set that up in their head ahead of time. But we also say, here's what you need to know at this level. Here's what you need to know at the next level. Here's what you need to know at the level beyond. So they kind of have that expectation. So set up expectations for your kids. But the biggest thing is, don't get caught in that argument. If you're arguing, you're losing. Keep that in mind. So I want to thank you for being a conscientious, caring, and concerned parent.